Welcome back to another video. Today we're going to be covering 20 Minecraft myths for the 120 update. So the first myth we are going to test is you actually need Silk Touch to mine or pick up the Chiseled Bookshelves. So if we try to break it, as you can see with a non-Silk Touch pickaxe, as you can see it doesn't actually drop an item. If we mine it with a Silk Touch axe, yes, as you can see, you actually need Silk Touch to pick up Chiseled Bookshelves. I don't exactly know why that's a feature, because I know a lot of people are going to break Chiseled Bookshelves thinking that you can pick them up without Silk Touch, and then you're going to get nothing in return. The second myth is apparently the same for the calibrated Sculk sensors. So once again, apparently you actually need Silk Touch to pick the calibrated Sculk sensors up. And once again, that is true. If you actually mine them without Silk Touch, you will just get XP like you do with Sculk sensors. Once again, I don't really understand this because you're then basically wasting Amethyst. I think if this was the case, it should still pop Amethyst out of it, as if you've like broke the Sculk sensor itself. The next myth we're going to test is that there is actually a way to get more of the torchflower seeds or pitcher pods when you plant them down. Let's break a few of them just to make sure that you only get one every time. And yes, as you can see, there is only one dropped. Let's now do the same with the actual pitcher plant, just to see if it's the same with this as well. This is a 2-tool flower, and most 2-tool flowers in the game, you can actually bone meal to get more of. That is not the case for the pitcher plants. So unless you have more than one seed, you are only ever going to get one crop from the actual seed itself. The next myth is the Sniffer, if you weren't aware, can actually dig blocks to get the torchflower seeds and the pitcher pods. Well, this myth is the Sniffer can actually dig any block within the game. This myth is actually not true. The Sniffer can only dig a certain amount of blocks, and then blocks is dirt, grass, podseal, coarse dirt, root dirt, moss, mud, and muddy mangrove root. This actual block list is done through tags, so you can add it to these tags with data packs. But if you actually have yourself Sniffers and you want them to produce seeds, make sure to have them on top of one of these blocks. The next myth is that you can actually crack the Sniffer Egg by jumping on it exactly like you can with turtle eggs. Because turtle eggs, if you actually have someone jump on them, they will over time, as you can see, smash into nothing. And let's see if that's the case with a Sniffer Egg. I am jumping on it and nothing is happening. So no, you cannot actually crack the Sniffer Egg by jumping on it. I've been jumping on it now for about 2 minutes and it don't seem to actually cracked. So that myth is busted. Another quick myth with the Sniffer Egg is that the Sniffer Egg is a gravity block just like sand, gravel and anvils. And this myth is once again false. It will not drop if there is not a supporting block below it. It will just float in midair. Now this is a bonus myth that I haven't actually got written down, but can the Sniffer Egg hatch if there is an air block below it? I'm not too sure, so let's leave this here and let's actually place down a few of them. And let's see if any of these hatch by the end of the video. The sixth myth is that you can actually break decorated pots with projectiles. So I've got different types. I've got arrows, I've got tridents, and I've got snowballs. So let's throw snowballs at it first. And that don't seem to actually break it. What about a trident? No, tridents don't break it either. And neither do arrows. So this is actually false. You cannot break decorated pots with projectiles. The next myth is the new music disc inside of Minecraft 1.20 can give a redstone signal of 16. If you didn't know, music discs actually give a redstone signal based on the music disc that it is. So currently it used to go from 1 to 15, with there being 15 music discs. Now there is a 16th music disc. What will actually happen if we put this in a jukebox? As you can see, if we put it in and read the redstone signal, it is actually a redstone signal of 14. Okay, my bad. It's not the same as Pigstep. It's the same as the other side. So if we throw that one in there, as you can see, that also gives a power of 14. So currently, there isn't a way to actually tell the difference between the other side and Relic through a jukebox redstone. The next one is apparently you can't tempt the camel or the sniffer, and also you can't lead them. So let's first of all try leads. You can lead the camel, and you can also lead the sniffer if you do want to. Now let's see about tempting them. So sniffers should be tempted by torchflower seeds. Let's quickly just let it dig it first, and then once it's finished digging, it should start following me. Which, yeah, as you can see, that is exactly what it's doing. So you can actually tempt sniffers with the torchflower seed item. And camels can be tempted or should be tempted by cactus, which it don't actually seem like they are. The camel is tempted by cactus. It just is a very delayed reaction to it actually following you when you're holding it. It does seem to have some delays. As you can see, when I actually stop and move direction, it will kind of stop and sit there before following me again. But you can tempt both the sniffer camel, and you can also lead both the sniffer and the camel. The next one is apparently bamboo or cherry wood won't actually catch fire. So let's quickly just put both the block of bamboo, the block of strip bamboo, then also the planks and the mosaic. And then for the cherry, we're going to put the cherry wood or the cherry log, the strip cherry log, and then the planks. Let's now put fire in between them. I should have really put netherrack to make sure the fire stays. And let's now see if any of them burn. Okay, cherry log has burned. Also, so has bamboo mosaic. So bamboo mosaic can burn. So can the stripped. From looking at this, it seems like both bamboo and cherry can catch fire and will burn if it does catch fire. As you can see, they are now all gone apart from both of the stripped cherry. Nope, after a while, the actual stripped cherry has now burnt away. So both bamboo and cherry can be burnt by fire. The next myth we are going to be testing is apparently neither the camel or the sniffer can go in boats or minecarts. So let's first of all try the camel, and if we try to push the camel in to the actual boat, the camel will not enter. But I think baby camels can enter boats, as you can see. So you can actually put camels inside a boat, but it has to be a baby version. Okay, yes, as a baby camel grows up into an adult now, it will now be popped out of the boat. So you cannot put camels, adult camels, inside of boats at least. Now let's quickly try minecarts. Okay, adult camels can go inside a minecart. What about baby camels? Can you put them inside a minecart? I'm guessing the answer is probably yes, because you can put adult camels in. I guess let's quickly just right click the baby onto you, and then we can push you into the minecart like so. So yeah, you can fit both types of camel inside of minecarts, but only the babies can go inside of boats. Now let's do exactly the same with the actual sniffer. So first of all, let's try an adult sniffer inside of a boat. And once again, the adult sniffer cannot be put into a boat. What about baby sniffers? Can they be put into a boat? Baby sniffers can be put into boats. Yep, but they will pop out of a boat when they are actually fully grown. So you can put baby sniffers inside a boat, but once they grow up, they will instantly be popped out of the boat. Now let's try minecarts. So can we put a sniffer inside of a minecart? We can. What about a baby sniffer? You can once again put both versions inside a minecart. But good luck getting the sniffer outside of the minecart, because as you can see, the sniffer's hitbox is way bigger than the minecart. You have to actually go below it to get the hitbox of the minecart rather than the actual sniffer. This next myth is hanging signs have less text space than normal signs. So let's quickly just do 1 to 9. And then from there, let's start again 1 to 9, which this goes back up to 6. Okay, let's now try the hanging sign. So let's go 1 to 9. And then 1 to... Okay, so this one only goes 1... So this can have 10 characters. This one can have... What is that? 15 characters. And it is the same on both sides. So if we once again do... That's 2 6s. So let's go 7, 8, 9. And then it goes to 1. And then this one will go 1 to 9 and then back to 6 again. So it is true. Hanging signs do have less text space than normal signs. The next myth we are going to be testing is apparently villagers can plant the sniffer flowers. So let's quickly just test this. First of all, we're going to throw down one of the villagers inside of here with some farmland. So let's quickly just do that. They do need to be the farmer type, apparently. So let's now give you some pitcher plants. You will pick the pitcher plants up. And yes, as you can see, the actual villager will plant them down. One thing to note though, the villager will not harvest them when they are fully grown. So you have to do that either yourself or through the use of pistons or something like that. Because as you can see, if we quickly make this fully grown, as you can see, it will just sit there and the villager won't do anything. Now let's quickly just try exactly the same thing with the torchflower seeds. So let's plant down one right here. Or no, let's not plant down one. Let's have a villager planted there with some torchflower seeds. And you'll pick them up. And once again, they have been planted down. Once again, the actual villager will not harvest them when they are fully grown, so you have to do that yourself or through some sort of redstone contraption. Now the next myth is related to the camel, and this is that the camel can walk up 1.5 blocks. Now they can walk over fences, either with a player riding them or naturally, but if we quickly just do it, as you can see, they can walk over fences just fine. But can they walk up a 1.5 block slab? They can. Is that as far as it can go? Can they walk up 2 blocks, or is 1.5 block the max it can be? What if we actually use snow layers right here to make it just that little bit bigger than the actual half slab? So now it's 1 pixel bigger than one, so it's 1.6 blocks now. Can they walk over this or not? Let's quickly just try. They can. Okay, so that's 1.6 blocks. What about 1.7? So let's put one more snow layer on top. And let's quickly just make that 1.7. And they can't walk over that. So the most they can walk over is 1.6 blocks. The next myth is once again related to the camel. And that is that the camel can dash up to 10 blocks. So we're currently on minus, let's actually go to 0. So if we quickly just run over this way. So let's sit on 0 and let's now dash just forward that way. So we went from 0 to 8. So it seems like the actual camel dashed 8 blocks that way. Let's try this again. So we are once again on 0. Let's now maybe look more up this time. And once again, the camel has gone 8 blocks. So the camel can only dash up to 8 blocks by just looking forward. The next myth we're going to try is that you can actually use chiseled bookshelves that have books in them to boost enchantment level. Now, I already know the answer to this, but I am going to just show it off just to show. So we're going to have in that one, 1. In this one, we're going to have 2. Then we're going to have 3. Then we'll have 4 in that one. That's 5. Then we'll have 5 in this one. And then we'll have 6 inside of this one. So in theory, these should work, but if we actually open up the enchantment table and throw a item in, chiseled bookshelves around the outside does not affect the enchantment level. If I now broke all of these and put the sword back in there, as you can see, it is still 248. The next myth is that boats and rafts are actually different speeds. So how we're going to test this one is I have got 2 dispensers right here, redstone going into both of them, exactly at the same time, there's no delay between either of them. And we're going to see what one reaches at the end first. So I have actually got string right here. So the string will obviously activate the dispensers, pushing up these blocks when it reaches the end. So let's click the buttons. As you can see, they have both been sent out. And it looks like they both reached the end at the exact same time. I will slow it down just to confirm that when I'm editing the video, but it did look like they reached the end at the exact same point. So it seems like the boats and the rafts are exactly the same speed, just different models. The next myth we're going to test is when Sculk resonates on a amethyst block, that can travel unlimited distance. Now I'm not actually too sure what the distance is on this, so let's maybe put a Sculk sensor right there. And let's see, will that travel to that Sculk sensor? It doesn't. Okay, so it's not unlimited. What is the distance on Sculk and its resonation? That isn't. Okay, let's move it 2 blocks again. And let's go over this side. Does that work? No, that one still doesn't work. So let's move it 2 more blocks and see if that one will now send it. So that does send it, which is good. So let's now move it 1 more block and see if it will send it that way. And will it? Yep, it sends it there. So let's move it 1 more block and see. Does it send it to that? It doesn't send it to that. Okay, so the distance for Sculk resonating is... it seems like it's 8 blocks because you have this amethyst block right here. And then there is a 7 block gap in between the amethyst block and the actual Sculk sensor. The next myth is that you can't actually instamine any block within 1.20. Now I've gone through and mined all of these with a axe, obviously because they're wood, and I used efficiency 5 and haste 2, which is the most you can get in vanilla Minecraft. And none of the actual cherry woods, apart from the pressure plates and the buttons, can be instamined. Pressure plates need at least efficiency 3 on a netherite axe, and so do the buttons. Now with a bamboo, it is exactly the same. None of the bamboo can be instamined with efficiency 5 and haste 2. The pressure plates and buttons can be instamined with efficiency 3. Decorated pots can be instamined with your hand. You don't actually need a tool for them. And the actual suspicious sand and gravel, although you wouldn't want to break this, that can actually be straight up instamined with a netherite shovel. The actual sniffer egg is always the same speed no matter what. No matter what tool you are using, the sniffer egg always breaks at the same speed. As for the crops, the pitcher plant, the actual pink petals, the torch flower, and the cherry sapling, they are all instamine with your hand or any tool you are holding. The actual leaves, the cherry leaves, are instamined with any netherite hoe. I'm pretty sure it works with any hoe, but I was using netherite tools, so you can actually instamine it with a netherite hoe. The actual calibrated Sculk sensors require at least efficiency 5 to instamine them. The pickling head is always the same speed no matter what, and all hanging signs require at least efficiency 5 to be instamined. Now this was a very rough test, I didn't spend too long on it, but it's basically barely anything can be instamined out of the wood sets, and in all items down here, most of them can be instamined with a few exceptions. Before we jump to the last myth, sniffer eggs can actually hatch with air blocks below them, but be careful placing them too high in the air, because obviously your sniffers could die from fall damage if there is not blocks below them that they can land on. Now the 20th myth, which we're going to cover, you can actually jump into the 1.20 update right now. And that is true. Today, the 1.20 update should have released for both Bedrock and Java. I'm uploading this on the day the actual update is fully released for both versions. So jump in now and explore all the new features within 1.20. If you want to see everything new in 1.20, you can check that video out. It will be linked in the description of this video. But anyway, that is where I'm going to end this video. If you did enjoy, leave a like and subscribe. And I guess I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.